everybody. I hope you are all well. I hope everyone is having a wonderful ReaperCon. Welcome to Streaming 101, where us three are going to give you the basic rundown of how to be a streamer, even though we're all kind of still a little bit new at it, but that's okay. I'm Holly Monster. I have JustDysis here with me as well, and Inquisitorburnzy. So really quickly to start, I would like to know how long you all have been streaming.
I'll start.
Yeah, go ahead, Dysis.
I'll go first. Hi, I'm JustDysis. I've been doing it 1 year. I just hit my 1 year anniversary for streaming. I'm still new. I'm a baby. 1 year.
Good afternoon. I'm Inquisitorburnzy. December will be 2 years for me, but I've been streaming on Twitch.
Awesome. And I'm Holly Monster. It's going to be 2 years for me on the 30th of this month.
Yay!
So my 2 year stream anniversary will be at the end of this month, which is pretty cool. There's a few topics that we want to cover, and really overall, it's just the basics of streaming. So how to get started, what type of equipment to use, things to keep in mind when you go live, and all that kind of good stuff. So if you're curious as to what it takes to get started, it really doesn't take much. So first things first, I want to go over each one of our basic setups, because I think we have different things going. Each one of us does it a little differently, as does every single streamer, right? So first, I would like to know, Dysis, what camera do you use for your Facecam?
My Facecam and my painting camera are exactly the same. They're the Logitech C920s that I use.
Okay, perfect. That does seem to be a fairly typical starting camera. It's one of the less expensive cameras, actually.
Yeah.
It's what I started with as well. When I very first started, I had two. I did the same setup as you, Dysis.
It's nice and simple. Well, and things you can watch them. They go on sale all the time, and they go for, like, I think I got mine for like $60.
Yeah.
And that's Canadian dollars, so that's a big deal. So
all right.
Like
Burnsy, what about you?
It's true.
For my Facecam, I use a Logitech 615, actually. So even older than the 922s. But I do use a 922 for my pig cam. So
yes. So I use a 922 for my Facecam. And then for my webcam, I use a Lumix GX85. I believe it's a DSLR camera. The reason why I use something slightly more high quality now is because I got a very large commission early on, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to put that money back into the stream and get a really good camera. One thing that I would say with that, though, to keep in mind is that you do want a camera that's going to be mirrorless, which essentially means that there's no overlay on the camera in your input when you go to stream, so that there aren't little icons everywhere all over the place. That's like the biggest thing that you want to look for, is something that can be mirrorless. Another thing is that doesn't matter the level of camera you have, especially when you're starting, as long as you have good lighting. So I think the next thing that we should talk about is lighting. So Burnsy, let's go with you first this time. What does your lighting consist of?
So my lighting consists of, actually, excuse me, over my head, I have a fan lamp combination that has 4 LED lights on it. I specifically put 60-watt LEDs in there that I knew I would be painting in the space. I went with the daylight, specifically, color of bulb. That way it was less harsh. But then directly over my paint area, I have I'd say 10-inch ring light. That's just like an office lamp. It has a magnifying glass in the center.
Yeah.
I tried using that initially when I started painting, found out that creates all sort of weird depth issues when you're like trying to like get your hand right and you smudge paint all the time.
Yeah.
But otherwise it just sits right over my area, right overhead of the camera. Basically, I have my camera and then the ring light sitting behind it where the magnifying glass goes.
Awesome. All right, Dysis, what about you?
All right, so mine is pretty simple. I use a ring light. Like, here it is. I'm going to blind everybody. Here it is. That is it. That's it. Has a little magnifier on it. It's just off Amazon. There's tons of them to choose from. I also do have a table lamp. that I used to use to point, but I have a lot of natural light and I don't need it anymore. And what I did was, as a diffuser, was I got a shower curtain, a frosted shower curtain. Fun fact, with an elastic band to get the soft light. I kid you not, was I went to the dollar store and got a shower curtain, cut it, and put it over a lamp, and used that as my mini light.
Streamer hack.
There you go. If you don't want to spend money,
streamer hack.
It is. It was a shower curtain.
I love that. That's awesome. I mean, that's kind of what you have to do, right? Like, you work with what you have the ability to work with. You find things and you make them work for you. And that's kind of like how you grow yourself as a streamer. I'll just show and see if I can show my lighting here. There's one. I also have two others that are on little arms that look like this. They are also daylight bulbs, and I just have this little diffuser that it's like on an elastic thing, and it just goes over the desk lamp. So really, that's all you need. As long as your area that you are painting in is nicely lit and is evenly lit, it will make all the difference, especially with the Logitech C920 camera. You need good lighting to be able to see the mini clearly. So just make sure that you test everything before you start. Test it all, because it makes a difference for sure. Okay, what about microphones? Dysis, let's have you go again first.
All right, so mine is the Zafro USB microphone. You can't get this mic anymore. I went looking for it. It's not available. But there's tons on there. If you find the ones that like say streaming, or you can also use like the Yetis. The Yetis are really good. That's what I used initially, was a Yeti mic. People have said the audio is really good for this thing, so it's worked out. It didn't cost a lot of money. I think it was like $30. But initially I didn't use anything. I was just using my headphones with the mic when I started.
Yeah.
It was whatever I had. It was as I went, I upgraded to this. But initially it was just my gaming headphones with my microphone.
Yes. Burnsy, what about you?
So I started the same way with a gaming headset and a microphone, just trying to, just stream. I eventually upgraded. Now my main stream microphone is a Blue Yeti. I found it on sale on Amazon. I got a pop filter, the microphone, the swing arm, and a stand, I think it was, for like $90 Prime at the time it was on sale. So I know the Yetis, they go on sale fairly frequently from time to time. So that's what I went to after that. But yeah, I use just my gaming headset to start, and then eventually went over to the Blue.
Got it. Yeah. So I now use, and I did this very recently, I upgraded to the Audio-Technica 2020 USB Plus. But before that, and this is definitely not required for you to have a really good mic. Just FYI, you don't need to do that. You can use just a regular headset with a microphone. I have the HyperX headset, but it's just like the one I've always had. Yep. Any microphone will work as long as it's not crackly, really, because you do want to be able to have people understand you. So I would say, again, test your mic. Talk to people on Discord. You can test it that way to see if it's clear enough. It should be just as clear on the stream. Someone did ask for a picture of the workspace and the streaming space. So I'm just going to show mine off really quick. FYI, my stuff is not clean at all. My desk is not clean at all. So, oh wait, sorry, 1 second. So this picture will kind of just show you how messy my work area is. And you can see this is a TV that sits about 4 feet behind my desk here. This is a big TV. And then I have a dual monitor setup. And then this paper towel right here, that is the only area that you see in this camera, this camera right here that shows the minis. So that's what my space looks like. It is very, very hectic, but on stream, It doesn't look like that. You don't see all of that. See, all you see is my face and this mic, which most of the time on stream, you don't even see this mic. So that is kind of like what we work with. We work in a very small, cramped area for the most part, and we just kind of find ways to make it work. So
yeah, exactly. My desk is like, when I'm not painting, I have to put everything away to do anything. Because after stream, you do a raid, and I'm like, why are they answering? It's because we're trying to get to our keyboard most of the time. Like, my keyboard is buried under so much stuff. Like, give me a minute, I'm coming. Let me just swim through my stuff, and I'll message you.
Yep, exactly. One thing I did want to mention as well is that I do know of a few streamers out there, Paylosapep, who don't even use a normal setup. All he uses is his cell phone. He literally streams with his cell phone on like a little cell phone holder on his desk, and he uses the sound from his cell phone and the video from his cell phone, and all he does is goes and paints that way. So you don't need a huge setup to start. Like, I think Palos hit affiliate within like a couple of weeks after he started on his cell phone. So like, you definitely don't need a lot. And especially when you're starting, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Don't think that you need the highest quality of everything to start streaming. You don't. Not, especially not in this community. The mini painting community is super open and is super willing to help you learn. So if anybody ever has any questions, like, we're all here and we're all willing to share our knowledge, which is why we're here right now.
And shameless plug on that note, GamerdadNC, he's not able to be with us today. He had some other things come up, but I did want to mention that he does actually do on his Patreon a stream support, like how to stream sort of tier. So definitely feel free to check that out as well. He's all about helping people learn. So.
Yes. And also, speaking of GamerDad, in the Discord, in the Streaming 101 Discord, GamerDad linked 2 guides that he created for other classes that are similar to this, that you all can go and utilize if you want to start streaming. It goes over some of the stuff that we're talking about here, and then it goes into a lot more depth into options of different lighting situations, different cameras, different microphones, different streaming software as well. So speaking of streaming software, Burnzy, what streaming software do you use?
So originally I used OBS Studios. I was running into some technical issues, and so I ended up swapping over to Streamlabs OBS, and I've been using that ever since. It's pretty seamless for a lot of things. The thing that I found I like the most about it, as opposed to OBS Studio, is when you go to launch your stream, it pops up all of your title and your different like miniature figure, your different categories and tags for your stream, and they're like, "Hey, are these what you want to use? Are you sure about that?" And so it kind of helps you. Like, I've had a couple times I've been about to go live, and then I've seen, oh, why does that say like Warhammer when I'm going to be painting something that's not a Warhammer mini or something like that.
Yeah.
And so then I'll change it to art or some other category to associate with that a little better. So.
Awesome. What about you, Dysis?
OBS Studios.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I use. I've been thinking about switching it, but that's what I started with. That's what I learned. So I'm just like old and crotchety and be like, this is all I know. I'm not changing it now, which I might look into in the future just for those reasons. People are like, hey, this is better. But I'm like, but I'm lazy. This is what I know.
I also started out with OBS Studio. There was a point in time where I lost files or something. Like, something got deleted on my computer. And then when I went to log into OBS Studio, everything was wonky. Like, my overlay was all wonky. And then I decided instead to switch to Streamlabs OBS because everything gets saved on the cloud. So realistically, I could go into another computer and log into Streamlabs OBS, and all I would need to change is the camera settings, and everything will still be there. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Depending on what you want to do will depend on the different types of software that's out there. There's other ones too, like XSplit is another option. I've never personally used XSplit, so I couldn't suggest it or not. But there are various different types of streaming software out there that, again, play around with it. Play around with everything. Find what you like. Find what works for you. Find what's the most convenient for you, and then go with it from there.
I want to grab a question that Reaper John just asked.
You beat me to it. I was just looking at that.
How expensive are your setups, lights, computer, cameras, everything all together?
Can I pass?
So I'll go ahead and start. So my computer I built back in 2015. I built it intending it to be specifically a gaming computer. So initially it was about, I want to say $1,800 for my computer, but that's because I went through and hand selected all the parts I wanted in it. At this point, though, I'm working with, 5th generation components when we're on 9th and 10th generation. So it's a 5-year-old computer, but I want to say the camera I got as a Christmas present. But it's like a $20, my Facecam is about a $20 camera. The C922 was about $80. I have the microphone was another $80. And then my main lighting, I'd probably say I spent like $20, $30 on.
Yeah.
So, and then my camera mounts, I just use like these snake arm camera mounts that I got off of Amazon. And they were like $10 a piece. So they're awesome because I can put the arm where I want it over my area, however I want, and it's going to stay there. Just because, I don't move it a lot. So I've personally been using these for almost 2 years now and haven't really noticed any wear or tear on them. So they've been great for what I've been doing.
Yeah.
So probably all said, aside from my computer, I'd probably have like $150, $200 invested in my actual stream equipment. So
it's not bad. Dysis, go ahead.
Yeah, I honestly, now that he's saying that, I'm sitting there doing the math, and yeah, mine's actually roughly the same because my computer was built for gaming as well. Like that's what I started playing was I was streaming gaming. So I've had this gaming thing. The only thing I've updated since then was I had to update my RAM. So that's the only thing I've touched in the last number of years. But yeah, so like once again, this is Canadian money. So yeah, like maybe $300 that I've put into my system. Yeah, like because I have the arm for my mic. I have the arm for this as well because the mic was separate. The mic was just on like a stand. And of course, like that doesn't really work. So I have it on the arm instead. All right, Holly, what about you? Please go on.
Oh dear. Oh God. Okay.
For your setup.
Well, I don't know. So yes, obviously you need if you're going to be streaming off of a PC, you need a PC. You can also use a Mac. I have no experience with Macs at all. So I would say do a little Googling to figure out if it's a realistic thing that you can do with a Mac. It probably is, but maybe not the easiest way to set it up. I also have a gaming PC. This PC was built about 4 years ago, so it's a little bit outdated. I'm probably going to do some updates to the innards of it soon. But my webcam, I believe I have like 3 of them at this point. I also have a camera that I sometimes shine on my doggos because they like to come in and roll around on the carpet and, get treats. So I'll have a dog cam up too from time to time. And that's a C920. But so however much the C920s cost, I think they're like around $40 to $50 a piece. The 922 is a little bit more expensive back when I got it. I think I got it for like $75. My camera setup. So this is my Lumix here. The way that I have this set up, I actually kind of hate it, which is fine. I need to figure out a different solution. So what I have is I have a tripod with a boom arm, essentially. It's a long metal pole. And then the camera is on I don't even know what this is called. It's essentially attached to the metal pole on a rotating like joint thing. And it is right above my head. So sometimes actually, if I lean too far forward when I'm painting, I smack my head right up against the camera, which you don't want to do, but sometimes it happens, which is fine. This whole setup was only about maybe $100 total for the tripod and the arm and the little joint here. But outside of that, my Lumix, my DSLR camera was about $500. So that's probably the biggest thing that I paid for. The lighting was very inexpensive. So again, daylight bulbs with the diffusers on their own, along with the arms, like the desktop arms, maybe like $35, $40 a piece. And the ring light that I have, the magnified light that I have, I didn't actually get this for streaming. I originally got this for painting because originally I was just going to paint. So I never actually used the magnified part of it.
Yeah, never used mine.
So I definitely didn't need it, but I watched Jimmy the Brush use one and I was like, hey, this is really cool. And this is totally what I need. So I think that piece was like $70 on its own. All of my lighting screws onto my desk. So I don't need to worry too much about knocking things over because it's all in arms pointing down to my desk. The biggest thing I have to worry about is my camera and hitting it with my face because I'm clumsy and it happens.
We did an excellent question, by the way, asking how many USB ports are being used.
Oh, every single one, I think.
Yeah, there is no spare USB ports going on.
Yeah.
Between like my keyboard,
I think I've got 5.
like the mouse. Yeah.
Not counting like actual like necessary like computer things, like using my mouse, my keyboard, everything else.
Yeah.
I think I'm using 8 USB ports.
Yeah, I think I'm using 6 or 7.
Yeah, I'm using 5.
Yeah. So it can be a little excessive. If your PC's not built for it, it can be a little bit harder. You can do things like buying a USB splitter, similar to the way that you would plug in an extension cord with multiple ports. Like you plug in the USB and it has multiple ports. You just have to make sure that your computer can actually handle it. Because if your computer can't handle it, you're not going to do very well. And Dysis, I just saw you drink out of that cup and that terrified me. I was like, please, no, not your paint cup. Please don't drink out of your paint cup.
But paint water is the best water. I can't lick my brush right now, so I need something, all right?
That would be one recommendation I have. Make sure that your paint cup doesn't look like a drink cup.
Yes.
Or it's different enough from what you're drinking from.
All right, so
this is what I use for drinking.
Side thing here for painting. I know this is going off, but yeah, I use a totally different things with a different feel because I've done that before where I've caught myself. So I use a mug. I never drink out of a mug. So I have a mug for my paint. I also just picked this up recently.
Okay.
With a lid. So because I've spilled water once.
Yeah.
My trick is I just have this is what I use.
That's this like
I did as a joke for today.
Yeah.
Because I got my swag box the other day and I'm like, it says, friends don't let friends drink paint water. This is a drink cup now. Like it has to be. I'm not using this for painting. This is now my drink cup forever and always.
Yeah. I actually, so I had gotten mine too. I ordered another one of these because this is my color, obviously.
It is your color. Yeah, I know. There's no pink. It's like,
not at all easy.
I need 2 paint cups. So I need a second one because I actually use one for my regular paints and one for metallics. So I want 2. I probably should leave them as different colors. Like I have this one too from ReaperCon last year, but like this
is my metallic paint water cup.
There you go. All right. Let's see.
Off topic a little bit there.
Okay, so I'm gonna show off really quick. I did this a little bit already, but I'm going to show it off one more time just so that y'all get a good idea of what I'm talking about here. So when we're talking about space, this is the space that we paint on. It's about this big. It varies a little per person and depending on how far away you have your camera, but it's about the size of my hands and I have tiny baby hands. So this is about 8 inches by like 5 inches or 6 inches. Yes. And so if I zoom out, you can see the rest of my desk. This is how much space that you see when I am painting on my camera. And the rest of it is for things. So yeah, just wanted to show everyone that really quickly so that you could get an idea of like how much space you realistically if you're starting to stream. It's not a lot for your actual painting space, which is nice.
Which is a good question, actually. I just thought of right now. What was your setup when you first started? For your very first streams, what did you have? What did you start with?
Oh, yeah. Mine was, I did start with a Facecam. I was, okay, so let me just tell you this about me. I'm one of those all or nothing people. Like, if I'm going hard. And if I'm not doing it at all, yes. But so I started with the 920 Facecam and the 920 webcam, and I still have the same lighting setup. I spent about a month trying to get all my settings properly done, try and get everything perfect before I started. The overlays and all of the scenes and everything else that I have are exactly the same. I never updated any of that stuff. The only thing that's changed for me is the microphone, the painting camera, and emotes. I got more emotes because good. So that's all.
How about you, Burnsy?
So for me, honestly, my setup really hasn't changed aside from the microphone. I went from my good old Void Pro headset to the Yeti for the microphone. That's been really the only other upgrade. Otherwise, everything that I've been using has been in its current position and hasn't been moved for almost 2 years now. So that's one of the reasons I got the snake arms for the painting, is because I literally just bend the arm down to where it needs to be to see the visual of the camera, and otherwise I can kind of move it out of the way, because painting on and off camera is two different things entirely.
Which is the next topic that we're going to
Segue.
All right. So then for me, I have to show you what I painted on. I have to show.
Yes, get it.
Okay.
Well, somebody really quickly asked a question
happened.
about the mat, which mine is just a black crafter's mat that I painted.
Yeah, I personally have a gray and white Fiskars healing cut mat that I use.
Yep, mine is a black one of the same.
That's my backdrop. It's a piece of construction paper. And when it gets too gross, I will just get another one. And it has a piece of tape to hold it to my desk. And then when I'm not painting, because I actually have a calendar, we'll get into that later, that sits in that spot because I'm terribly forgetful. But so when I started streaming, I had no Facecam. The camera I used was a really old Logitech cheap freebie thing. Yeah. And I painted, my camera rested on this candle in front of me, right in front of me, facing down. And I painted around the candle with the lamp. The lamp had nothing on it. It was just a harsh light. And with this headset with the mic, and nothing. And that's all I had. And afterwards, they're like, wait, you said you had pink hair. We want to see what it looks like. So I went and rushed and switched the ugly cam up and got a better cam there. And I still, for the longest time, I had it sitting on this candle.
I love that so much.
That's awesome.
That's how I streamed. It sat right. It was awkward, by the way. Trying to paint anything around a candle with a camera on it is a thing. But yeah, honestly, you can do anything. You can do anything. Like whatever works. I just found something to prop my camera on, and that was it.
That's great. So I forget what the segue was that we just talked about.
Painting on stream and off stream.
Yes. I only paint on stream. Weirdly enough, it is very rare for me to actually paint off stream unless I'm playing D&D. If I'm playing D&D, I'm still at this desk. So I will usually, most of the time, paint a little bit. But for the most part for me, I paint exactly the same on stream and off stream, more than likely because I learned mostly how to paint on stream. So I don't really do it off stream. What about you two?
Well, I do both now, because initially, yes, I only ever painted. I sat down and paint, but then I started seeing commissions. I started, doing other things. And I'm like, okay, I need to get this done. I can't just do it in my 2 hours, 3 days a week. It just doesn't work. And then my on and off stream is different only for the fact that of where I hold stuff. Because if I'm painting, so using this as an example, when I'm painting, obviously I have to hold it down on my desk so people can see. Otherwise, I hold it here. Like I will rest my elbows on my desk and just, because it stabilizes, and that's how I paint.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had a question.
Oh, we do?
From Julie Cat asks, do you have to have painting talent to run a successful painting stream?
I want to say no.
No.
I say no.
Have you seen my
the reason I say no. The reason I say no is one of the things I found is, so I started painting, I think I've been painting minis for almost 4 years at this point.
Yeah.
I was painting for about 6 months before I ever found Twitch. I didn't even realize there was a mini painting community on Twitch.
I had no idea, yeah.
Same.
I was at the time, I was getting back into Warhammer 40K and just painting and hobbying and everything like that. And my buddy was really big into Twitch, and he's like, hey, have you ever looked at Twitch for mini painting? And I was like, no. And he's like, check this out. He showed me some places, and I think my second Twitch streamer, if nothing else, was Genuine Vision, and he blew my goddamn mind. Pardon my language. And so it's one of those, there's so many resources, and people on Twitch, if you ask them a question about how to do a specific type of painting, will help you grow so much. And the thing I also found as a painter, that when I started streaming, I went hunting for resources to learn. There's nothing wrong with learning on stream because I think it's actually really awesome. I like rating new people or like going and chilling in like newer streamers' chats and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I might not talk a lot just because I'm working or doing something else at the time because I spend most of my day in front of my desk. But it's awesome watching people on that journey. Mini painting is a journey. You know, you learn, you grow, and it's phenomenal, and it's great content, if you want me to be frank, to watch that growth in people. So it's very awesome, personally, in my opinion. New painters, I would definitely, if you want to stream, I encourage you to do so.
Yep.
Yeah, I started not knowing anything. I'd painted a couple D&D minis like a decade before. I'd played Warhammer, and I was like, oh, the Golden Demon, that's neat. And I then never did it. And then I started just kind of fiddling around. And then it was Zaltaris that was like, hey, why don't you just stream it? Because I was playing video games. And I was like, no one wants to watch me paint. Who paints? And that's when I went and started finding people like Holly. And I was like, I found Holly and I found Mad Love. And I was like, oh, people do this. And everyone was so nice. So I was like, okay. So yeah, you don't need to start off being like, I am an expert painter. Just pick up a brush and start, and you'll learn. I've grown so much in the year, and it's cool because people have joined me. They go with you on your journey.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite parts, actually. The original reason I started streaming was, one, to keep myself accountable, and two, to get those like hot tips live, because people will come into your stream, and if you're like, I don't know what color to do, and then people will ask you questions like, well, what are you trying to achieve? Like, what colors have you already put on the model? Like, do you have a color wheel? Like,
it changes the way you look at things and colors a lot of the way. Like, you don't even realize different ways some things that can go together. Like for me, when it comes to painting, like my camera doesn't really convey it, but I'm actually 6'4".
Oh, you're tall.
So for me, when I paint on stream, my hands are actually like at the level of my desk. Like right now it looks like I'm shorter because my camera is kind of pointed down at me.
Yeah.
So the reality though, like when I paint like Dysis. Like normally my hands are balanced on my desk. I've got like a paint handle or something.
Yep.
You know, just like
holders
in front of me.
Yep.
Like I'm got my paintbrush in my mini, and I'm usually like mounted up like this.
Yep.
But like when I'm painting on stream, it's a lot harder because I then have my hands on my desk in that 8x6 inch area that Holly was describing earlier.
Yep.
And I've got like, I'm like still trying to use that holder, but instead of like being like this, it's like this. And then like my back of my hands resting on my desk, and I'm kind of like this, but also like out in front of me. So, because then I've got like my camera, there's times when I call it cuddling with my camera. Like I've got my cheek resting on the snake mount as I'm trying to like do a detail part. So, and I've smacked my head, bounced my head off of my light a couple times, like Holly does with her camera. And
oh, I just did that getting the thing. I just smacked off my light. Smoted myself.
So yeah, it's an experience sometimes painting.
Yeah, one of the other things that I wanted to say too is like, not only does streaming allow you to get like real-time suggestions and help from people, you also make friends. And I know that's kind of like a weird thing to say, is like, I don't have a ton of like in real life friends. A lot of the people that I talk to are online. And a lot of the people that I now talk to are people that I've met on my stream that have come in, and shout out Bill Robertson. I talk to like Shadow every day. I talk to like Bill almost every single day. And it's like, I've made these friendships with people that realistically you probably wouldn't ever do in person because you have no idea that you share the same hobbies. So building and keeping those friendships is like one of the big things for me. Streaming
for me was actually my outreach. So normally I'm an introverted person. I don't really like, at the time I was going to work and coming home. That was my day. I'd go to work, come home, watch YouTube, Netflix, whatever, and do some painting.
I know people. What's people?
And,
what are other
and
people?
So I was legitimately like, I was in a new city, new job, didn't really know anybody. And I was like, you know, I'm kind of just isolating myself unintentionally. And so that was really what kicked off streaming for me. I wanted to, you know, have that, you know, that reach out, that interaction with people. And so that's where I decided to balance things as I started streaming.
Yeah. No,
So I
for
got
sure.
to talk about something that I love to do with people who are also really interested in doing it. And it was just great.
Yeah, exactly. The people I talk to most are like, they're here. Like these are my friends. The people I talk to, like Freak Max and JJ and Big Jim Slade, like the ultimate trolls ever. Are here, like, and they're people I would never have met otherwise. And once again, introvert, I just don't talk to anybody. I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm a social butterfly now.
Yeah, exactly. Same. Everyone's like, you're so confident, and I'm like, you have not met me in person.
No, me in person. I was like, oh no, if you want to see a nervous wreck, me,
Yeah.
I'm a nervous wreck.
Yeah, the first year that I went to ReaperCon was 2018, and I didn't know anybody. I hadn't started streaming yet. I started streaming like 6 months after 2019 Reaper. No, 2018 ReaperCon. I'm getting my years all confused now. But I didn't know anyone, and I was too shy to like go up and introduce myself. But now I have like this massive group of people that I know that come up to me and say hi. And I'm like, yes, it takes away the nervousness of going and talking to people when people come up and talk to me. Like, please talk to me. That's all I want.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that because at first I was terrified because my goal was like, okay, I'm going to stream. I'm like, oh, wait, people might actually recognize me.
Yeah.
People might actually know who I am. I didn't know how I felt about that. I'm like, oh, you're very recognizable with your pink hair. I'm like, wait. And then, the nice thing is going somewhere and people just coming up to you and it just alleviates. It's like, yeah, cool. Hi. I don't bite. Well, if I do, I have my shots. It's all right.
Reaper Ron just asked if you drank your paint water. See?
I did. It's delicious. I can't
so
normally I'm a brush licker.
That hint of metallic flake, right?
Yeah. You know what? Some drow nipple pink in there. Oh, it makes all the difference.
So good for your insides.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I need it.
All right. I think we're running out of time a little bit and we have a little bit more to get through. So I think we should move to the next topic.
Yes, of course.
If y'all are okay with that.
Sure.
Managing your schedule. How do y'all do it?
So I am personally blessed with my work schedule. My real life job, I work Monday through Friday, and I'm salaried, so I work 8 to 5. So I've got my nights pretty much clear right now. I'm currently, single, so there's nothing else I have better to do. So basically, I stream from 8 p.m. to midnight on 2 nights a week. And so it's one of those, like, I have enough time personally that I get done with work, and then I hop in to, we've got an invader.
Gamer Dad's coming in.
Basically, I get done with work, make dinner, and then set up stream, and then usually hop right into the stream, and then after that, go to bed.
Awesome.
That's kind of just how things balance for me.
Hi, Gamer Dad! Welcome in!
Who's here?
Oh, yeah, I made it.
You made it! You look really tired.
Speaking of balancing real life and streaming.
I was listening to the whole conversation and I messaged Justin. I'm like, well, I made it home. Is it okay for me to jump in? And then I heard you guys talking about, balancing your life. Oh, perfect timing.
Yeah, look at it's like you staged
timing
it.
from
No, I wish I could have staged it. I actually, you guys know, I was going to stage my daughter interrupting us when we got to this part of the conversation.
Yeah.
When she woke up from her nap, but nope.
Didn't need to.
Yeah. Well, I will say that in terms of work-life balance and stream life balance, I would say if you have a full-time job or even a part-time job, if you've got family, children, significant others, all of that stuff should more than likely always come first before streaming.
Yes.
Absolutely. Real life comes first.
Yes. I will say that the past couple of weeks, my job has been insanity. And there have been many days where I've had to work over my normal time that I would normally work, which means that if I do stream, it's going to be an hour, 30 minutes, not usually worth it. And also by the time I'm done with my workday, my normal workday, my brain is completely and utterly fried because I've just been going all day. So don't feel bad if you can't stream one day. Your viewers will 100% understand because they're also your friends. They're your friends. They want the best for you. They will be there to
Exactly.
support you. If you're not there, they'll be like, hey, what happened? I've had multiple people reach out to me when I've missed a stream, when I also haven't like put up a notice saying like, hey, I can't stream tonight, being like, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, yes, I'm so sorry. I've been like so focused on work. I haven't had a chance to like do anything else. So when you're first starting, try not to overextend yourself into streaming. That is the best way to burn yourself out utterly and completely, is to try to stream for many hours a day, every single day. You don't want to do it. You want to start slow. I stream 4 days a week, which is probably actually too much, but that's okay, because I enjoy it, and I do miss days every once in a while, and it's okay to do that. So
try 7 days a week with
don't do
a
that.
partner.
Don't do it.
Made that mistake.
Don't overextend yourself. Whatever you
That's
feel
important.
like you can handle, do a little bit less than that to start. And then work up to that. If you want to be a full-time streamer, a full-time mini painter, you definitely can do it. You just have to make sure it works for you.
Yeah, so you do it slowly. Like I only do 3 days a week for 2 hours, but I've been trying to extend it. So right now it's every other Thursday. I do an evening stream for 2 hours to slowly just start, because you get used to it. You get into a routine. But I've recently gone full-time streamer mini painter. So I'm like, okay, but it's still balancing life because I have a daughter. I have other obligations. I also paint off camera. So even though, yes, you don't see me, I'm still painting 5 days a week.
Yeah.
You just don't get to see it.
Yeah.
And like I stream 2 nights a week for 4 hours each night. But usually, like I found for me, mini painting is the like calming part of my day. So I try to paint like an hour a day, just because it helps bring balance for me. I'm much more creative oriented as a person, and my job is very math and science heavy. And so it's one of those that after a day of doing all of that, sometimes I want to sit down and not think about that or go the opposite direction and just slap paint on a model. So
yeah, for sure.
That's one of those, it was great for me when I started streaming, because I got to bring my hobby and my relaxation period into, the community and everything like that, and just being able to hang out with people. So.
And I actually stream 3 nights a week for 3 hours per stream. So there's like no math formula for how many hours or how many days, right? It's different for everybody. And I've just recently changed my days, right? That's another key thing here, is not just how often you're streaming, but when you're streaming. And there's usually 2 or 3 things that I've heard a lot of people when they ask me about, should I really pick up this night? Should I really drop that night? Yeah, you hear a lot of other streamers complain about, well, but Holly's on that night, or Burnsy's on that night.
Yeah.
I don't want to stream over them. Well, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I love you all to death. If you're streaming at the same time as me, okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
bring
cool.
it on.
It's fine.
Do it. Fine. Stream.
I might
Do it.
stream with you. You might stream with, we might co-stream sometimes. But don't, like, I always tell people, unless you want to be able to view them, don't ever look at their stream being live as competition for your stream being live. I change some nights, I'll be honest, because some very close friends have similar times, and I don't get to watch them because I don't have as much time with kids, soon to be 2, right? That's where I've been. So soon to be 2 kids, full-time job, my wife. I don't have time to get on Twitch all day and all night. So the nights I'm not streaming, when she goes to bed, that's who I'm hanging out with. So that's why I've shifted some of my schedule, because it worked better for my family to be with my family. But I'm not going to just cancel a stream because Zambies is on Wednesday night. Okay. I guess we'll be sharing views, or sending one of the king trolls back and forth to harass each other. I mean,
right. Exactly.
That happens.
One of the things I think we didn't actually go over is like thinking through why you want to stream. I know there are a lot of people out there that think streaming is going to like bring you in a lot of money, and that's why they do it. I can tell you right now, I spend vastly more money on all of the things related to streaming that I take in.
Let me go get my tax returns from last year. Because I'm under a business now. I had to go under a business now for tax reasons. I'm not going to share why, because I'm not a tax professional. So get a CPA to guide you.
Yeah.
But I definitely like being a business because of how much more money I spend.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And I think some people will see individuals on Twitch getting a lot of viewers, getting so many subs, getting so many donations, and they think that is how I'm going to also bring in my income. However, that takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of extreme talent and dedication to get to a point where you can just not work and not have any other support system and be a full-time streamer. It takes a lot, and a lot of people don't realize how much it takes. So I would say that if that is your reason for streaming, maybe don't start with that purpose.
Nope.
Move into it slowly and have goals set for yourself. And if you don't hit those goals, like just keep working at them until you do, but don't give up. Don't let things get you down just because you only are going to start with maybe 5 viewers, maybe not even that when you first start streaming.
It's going to be you talking to yourself.
Exactly.
You want to hear a horror story about a first
That's a big
stream?
thing.
Yes.
Stop. Don't watch your views.
Don't look at your viewer
That
count
is
when
the
you
big
first
one.
start.
It's
Don't
silly
do
as it sounds.
Look.
It sounds counterintuitive, but
Yes.
like I've found myself a couple times after like I didn't really pay attention, but I'm a competitive person sometimes by nature.
Yeah. Of
And
course.
so I'll see other
Not at
people
all. Not at
like
all,
I
Burnsy.
follow. I'll see other people I follow and they've got more viewers than me, right? I see that number. And then all of a sudden I'm like, well, I'm not doing well. And I've noticed myself, like I'll see it out of the corner of my eye during a stream. And I've noticed like my mindset change. And after I'll stop myself and be like, whoa, hold up. I don't care. Like that's them. I'm going to do me. This is my stream. This is my space. Let's, get painting, have fun.
Yeah.
And then just kind of engage with the people you have, make an environment for those viewers you do have,
Exactly.
hang
And
out with your
Burnsy
friends.
Burnsy, you know my number one rule. What's my streaming rule?
I don't remember.
You
at this
know
point.
it. It's exactly what I said to you when you asked me about streaming. I don't think I got you started, but you asked me.
Just
about
do
streaming.
it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Shut up and do it.
Shut up and stream is what I tell everybody that, when they come in the channel, like, how do I get started streaming? I'm like, shut up and stream. Just
do
hit
it.
the button.
Go live. Just hit the go live. Ooh, my biggest advice though, for people who are like nervous to stream, you'll feel better once you do.
Yes.
Like those days
Just
where
sit
you're like,
down.
you're like, I don't feel like streaming. I'm down or whatever. Honestly, I have those days and I stream and afterwards I feel like $1 million. And if you feel crappy, stream. I tell that to anybody. I don't feel like streaming. Well, are you really sick? No. Oh, do you have a fever? No. Is your vocal cords broken? No. Push the button, go live.
Just sit down and start and you'll feel much better. Yeah, that's true.
Just stream. But we're going to go.
I'm going to reach out to you, DySys. Next time I feel like that, I'm just be like, DySys, just tell me to stream.
Go stream. Just my face. Be my face going,
smack me. Tell me to stream.
Do it. But I was going to say for what I do for backtracking a bit, for getting organized and stuff like that. So I have in front of me a bunch of Post-it notes. And a healthy level of Post-it notes reminding me, like I have one that says, tweet before stream. A thing I never do, but it tells me to. And then it has lists of things I need to complete. It has things for giveaways. Also I have on my desk when I'm not streaming is this thing. It's a calendar that sits in front of me. So anytime something comes up, it's like, what do I need to do? Like on my stream the other day, it's like, oh, when's your Reaper stream? And I go, "Durr." And I go, oh, right. It's right in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Central. Oh, here's what it is in Eastern because I also wrote it down because I will forget.
There you go. I use Google for all my calendar stuff just because that's what I do for work. And I've done it for so long that Google Calendar is like my jam. But
when you set up a website, you can embed it to your website.
Exactly. I feel like I had something that I was going to say and now I can't remember.
Brain fart.
This is how I work. This is my life.
It's scroll moments. It's a scroll moment. I do it all the time. I'm streaming. I'll be talking. Someone will say something. I go, random other thing.
Yeah. What was I just talking about? Yeah, and having the personality to not worry about it. Sorry, I was just reading Melons. Having the personality to not worry about your streamer numbers. Oh, that's what I was going to say. When I first started, yes, I figured it out. When I first started, the only people that watched me were 4 of my friends and I think like 1 coworker. And it was all people I knew. Like I actually very consistently get my mom and my little sister in my stream. They turn it on all the time, which is super, super awesome because they have no interest in any of painting or miniatures or anything like that. They just watch it to support me, which is really nice. But like, you will slowly gain people who will want to watch you over time, and it takes time. I've been streaming for about 2 years. I get maybe like 20 people, 25 people at most in my streams. That doesn't dissuade me at all. I am not here for getting viewers and all of that stuff. I'm here to have fun and to talk to my friends.
Exactly.
So, it's all in the mindset. If you're depressed because you're not getting enough people, you probably need to rethink why you're streaming and figure out ways to have fun that don't make you sad. So that's that. What were you going to say, Justin? Yes. Yes, that's true.
Catch him up.
Gamer Dad, tell us everything that we just talked about in the last 60 minutes.
Okay, I can do that in another 60 minutes. So I just recently built with the galvanized steel piping, so like the metal conduit or I guess gas pipes, whatever, just the big metal things you can get from the hardware store. I just built like a coffee table looking thing on top of my desk, and it sits up here. I'm in my gaming camera right now, so it's off to the side, but it runs over 2 bookshelves and suspends all of my lighting and my camera. So I have photography grade LED light panels for my lighting, and I get to do stuff like this to mess with people.
Ooh, fancy.
I can just do this.
Oh, well, that's the other light. I have 5 total lights that I need to turn on for stream.
Okay.
2 desk lights. Yes. 2 desk lights, the ring light around my camcorder, and then the 2 LED lights. The 2 LED lights are fortunately on a remote, so I don't have to go reaching behind them. And they're suspended from that metal rig, as is my camera and ring light, which are on what's called magic arms. And in the guide, I actually put Amazon links to all of this. If you guys go to the Streamer 101 channel. And I'm just using a Canon camcorder right now because I was using a Rebel DSLR for a long time. And one of the problems with DSLRs, not the mirrorless cameras, but the old-fashioned DSLRs, they're heavy. And with the weight that I had on it and the big arm I had, it tore my desk apart, literally tore the desk surface apart.
Oh, wow.
Because it was too heavy for the arm. And then from there, like all the torque or the tension it was putting on the HDMI cable, the cable went bad, so I had to find something else. So I went with a lighter camcorder. So heavy duty photography lighting, the HD camcorder. I'm on a Shure SM57 microphone, so this is like it's a similar microphone that what you would have at concerts or on stage performances and all that. And it's got, you can see, it's got the little its own pop filter on it. And then it's just on a swing arm. I mean, everything. The mounting hardware and stuff is pretty basic, pretty generic. Yep, there you go. A little fuzzy. But what I'm noticing on mine, because I think I'm the only one with this type of microphone, I have to talk right here.
Yeah, for sure.
If I move this away, like Holly, I can see on your camera, yours is like off to the side.
Yeah.
I can't even see yours. And then Dysis, I mean, I know yours is moved away sometimes, but I have to eat this microphone every stream, or else people are like, "What? I can't hear you. Your voice is cutting out." And so, I'm thinking about an upgrade, only for the microphone. But my issue is all of the background noise. My entire house can be heard through this microphone without the proper setup. So I was using a Snowball mic originally.
Yeah.
Which I don't recommend for content creation like creative, because it sucks in everything. It's not a bad microphone. It's not bad for gaming. It's not bad for group calls. But when it comes to being like on YouTube or Twitch, it's going to suck in everything, and you're going to have such a hard time with filters. So that's why, I'm on this one, but I'm thinking about switching to Audio Technica, like what you've got, Holly.
Yeah.
Or I might just, you said earlier, you go hard, right? You go all in.
Go all in.
I might just go
all the way. She goes all the way.
Wow.
So this is new levels. Where's the After Dark stream when you need it?
Dysis is my online girlfriend, so I mean,
She
would
said
know.
it, guys. She said it. I didn't make it up. Just to throw it out there. It's now recorded. I didn't make it up.
Evidence. Can we clip that? Can we please clip that?
Clip
I
it.
told you guys.
Get clipped.
I told you.
I'm actually thinking about going with a Rode mic, the NT1. It's a pretty hardcore podcasting XLR microphone. So the big boy, I guess. So that's my setup. I overdid all of it, but that's 3 or 4 years of saving up, proper budgeting,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things I tell everybody because, I hear everybody. Everybody's like, "Oh, I got to get this new camera. I got to get a DSLR." And I think Holly, you talked about it, or Dysis, you don't.
You don't.
Look, Burnsy and Dysis, fantastic, successful streamers.
Do I have
They're
to bring
not
out the
using them.
candle again?
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't have a candle. Mine hung off of my monitor and aimed straight down in front of my monitor when I
See, I
first
was
started.
Pure class on top of a candle.
Yeah.
Pink sands. Wow, that's actually quite fitting.
Yeah, I think even streamers like Jimmy the Brush and like Shoshi still use a Logitech 920.
Next Level Painting still uses a webcam.
There you go. See, you definitely don't need something higher quality. I think if you can afford it and you want to troubleshoot and figure out how to use it all, yes, you can totally do it, but it is not required.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I use a 922. That's what I use for my stream cam.
Yeah.
And I've taken the time. I know the filters with my lighting that I need to have for people to be able to accurately see the colors. I don't use autofocus. I go in and manually set what works for me. And that's because I've taken the time to play with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what it breaks down to.
All right, we have a question from Lonely Yeti. Dysis and Holly, when are your minis coming?
Reaper, when are our minis? When is my mini? Ooh.
Jealous.
John actually said he was going to ask last night, so he may not have had a chance to do that yet, but that's okay.
And mine, I'm still trying to work that out. I'm still trying to find a way to make that happen. By the way, having a mini made is not cheap.
No.
No, it's not.
Putting it out there, you think that I can just miraculously make a mini? I can't. So what we're doing, what the discussion is do a pre-order. So it'll help compensate the cost. You guys can have minis and I don't go broke. So it's everybody wins. So essentially doing it sort of pays for itself.
Mine was a
Everybody's happy.
fluke.
Yours was a fluke. Which
Mine
is
was
awesome.
a fluke. Christine Van Patten, Rainbow Sculptor, was like, your character's really cute. And I was like, yeah, she is. And she's like, I want to 3D model her. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And then she's like, I think I'm going to try to see if Reaper wants to buy this. And I was like, yes, please. Please. And then Reaper was like, yeah, we want this. And I was like, I'm going to have my character, my D&D character, my stream mascot made into a miniature. I am freaking pumped. This is the best feeling ever.
That's amazing.
Oh, shameless plug. Monster.
Yeah, shameless plug.
I'm kind of in your boat, Dysis, because all of the things about streaming is you build a community. You guys were saying that earlier.
Mhm.
Sometimes your viewers become part of your community. Sometimes your family becomes part of your community. And my wife has her own character within my stream community. Nobody knows her real name unless like they're in like my mod chat speaking privately. But my community knows her as Hypermom. And she's got an emote. And so everyone's like, well, we don't want a dad model. We want mom.
Right?
Okay, fine. And my chair is more popular than me.
Sharon.
It's true. It's true.
Sharon.
Your chair is. I knew your chair before you.
Because I don't use a BRB screen.
Yeah.
Usually.
So I don't either.
Right,
Yeah,
there we go.
so-
there it is.
So when I walk away, there it is. There's chair.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
I can neither confirm nor deny that I may be the one who perpetuated that.
Yeah. There's a command in my channel for Sharon, the real star of the show. So I am working with some people to pre-order a Hypermom model,
That's
cool.
awesome.
and I might do a streamer. I want to do a streamer series eventually. I want to get mine up and running first, where I'm gonna have a core set of mom and dad. You can't have mom without dad. So
Yeah,
there's
of
gonna be a
course.
mom and dad setup, but everybody wants her. And I think over time, speaking to a couple of other people, it might become something one day, I hope.
I know what that's like though, because everyone knows my daughter always pops in and she's
Mhm.
Llama Girl. Right? Once again, same idea. People know her real name if they're in the Discord and whatnot, but she's famous as Llama Girl. So she comes in and she helped with my swag, my ReaperCon online swag. unboxing, and she has her own emote.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's cute.
She has art. I have to post it. There's a coloring page of Llama Girl. Yeah, so she's like my mascot. I don't know. She streams for me. Sometimes she'll take over. I can walk away, and she'll explain what I'm painting.
Oh, that's adorable.
I just have my cat.
It counts.
I have my corgis.
Speaking
Oh,
of
your
the devil,
corgis. I
we
want to
shall
play with
hear-
your corgis.
Oh, kitty.
I know, I see them all the time.
This is Dave.
Hi,
We won't say his full name.
This is Sir Dave the A-hole, because that is what he is.
Well, I think, Justin, did we have any questions from the chat that we missed? Because
Yes.
I think we got through mostly everything that was pre-written or to discuss.
I think you guys did.
We're on it. Got it.
We have a
Okay.
voice inside our head.
We have a voice inside our head. Holy
Voices
what?
are telling
Holy
me.
what?
I
Hey,
actually-
Shadow. I was talking about you earlier. Sorry.
I wanted to expand on some of the real life balances real quick.
Yes.
Because, I would, it takes a lot it does take a lot to get noticed in a streaming community beyond just making friends in different channels, right? Being able to get associated with large successful companies like Reaper or other hobby suppliers and stuff like that. It's not just, you go live and the next day you're getting this kind of success. It takes time. Not everybody gets there, and you do get back what you put in. And I'm not talking about the money. If you spend,
No, not.
$5,000 in computers and advertisements and all these other things, you're not going to become ninja because you spent more money than I did when I went way too far with lighting. You're not going to just automatically get more viewers than somebody else. It's really understanding what's kind of at stake, right? Your budget is your budget person to person.
Yes.
I work full time, and I work in an IT department, 40 hours a week. My wife works, so we have two full-time jobs that are salary based. That's different than other people who go to part-time jobs here and there to make ends meet.
Mhm.
I have the ability to decide, I think my camera is a little bit old. I want to get a new webcam for my face. I have a little bit of that flexibility where I respect that somebody else might not. On top of that, there's other people that are more financially stable than I am. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to go get that $1,200 HD camcorder, and that's going to be my new stream camera. Like, sure, go for it. You could do it. But none of that, there is zero correlation to success, to views, to sub counts. None of that ever matches to the amount of money that you spend.
No. With that, we do have a question in the
Sure.
chat. Non-technical, what tips do you have for new streamers and streamers wishing to grow? The best things that helped you to succeed?
I would say for me, personally, was networking.
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
But there's a way to do it, is the thing. So there's an unspoken etiquette on Twitch, especially
over this
among
on my
midi-
stream.
It's actually
especially
terms of
among midi
service.
papers.
It's actually a TOS thing, Burnsy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
So, for me personally, right?
Mhm.
I started out hanging out, and GamerDad was one of the first streamers I hung out with. I think he was one of the first 10 people I ever really watched, and one of the first people I went back to every week before I started streaming myself. Well, my stream starts at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which for him is 11 p.m. His stream runs until midnight his time. And so one of the ways that I found personally that kind of was like, hey, I'm not being rude. I want you to know you're having a good night, and I'm leaving. So even though I'm going to set up my stream, I say the same thing. But he's known me now long enough that he knows that I'm really saying, hey, have a great night. I've got to go do my own thing. And I say, have a good rest of your stream, GamerDad. I've got to head out. That's all I say.
Yeah.
And then from there, he, a lot of the times he'll call me out. He'll be like, have a good rest of your stream, Burnsy.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, you're leaving it in their hands sort of thing. The other thing it kind of does, it subconsciously also makes them aware of the fact that you're streaming as well.
Yeah.
So if they're ending and looking to raid, they may raid you. They may raid somebody else. It doesn't matter. It's just one of those kind of subconscious things. It's like, hey, I do exist.
But you got to keep it ambiguous, just like Burnsy's doing. Because there's been nights where he's not streaming. Because I've been like, hey, are you starting stream soon? He's like, no, I'm not on tonight. You know, so if you're just being a cool person, being kind, being friendly, like, I'm out of here. So think of a stream. Think of my channel as my house.
Mm-hmm.
You're a guest in my house. Think of it as a place of business. You're coming into my store. If you sell the same thing that I sell in your store, you're not going to come into my store and talk about what you sell, are you?
Yes, exactly.
I will kick you out.
Yeah.
And it's a similar mindset. It's the same kind of respect in your home. You don't tell people how to run your home while you're in my home, because I'm going to run my home my own way. So you come in, my daughter has been raised, whenever she enters somebody's house, she greets everybody in the house. Whenever she leaves their house, she says goodbye to everybody in the house. So when we go to my mom and dad's, like, there's 4 people there every day. There's a hug and a kiss for every single one of them, and it takes forever. But still, you come and go, and that's kind of the mindset I have in my channel, or when I'm in other people's channels. It's like, all right, I got to get out of here. I might not even be going to stream. I might be going to spend time with my wife. I might be going to bed. I might be going back to a meeting. Hey, I got to get out of here. You have a good rest of your stream.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it.
And just being a regular, just show up to things. Your name, you become known. You just keep showing up. You just go in, go, hey, how are you? You know, just chat. And then sometimes, like, I try, if someone pops in, I go, hey, do you stream? And then if they ask you, you can just tell them, or I will tell people links are friendly. If you want to show off your Instagram, please show me. I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to wait for that. Same with links. It's very polite. Do not just throw links in, because I know some people have gotten very inappropriate content. So you just ask, even if it's not locked and you don't need a mod, you just go, hey, can I link? And I'll go for it. And then you link, and it's just polite. And then people remember that. Like, I'm more inclined to remember you being polite and asking versus just vomiting links at me for no reason.
And one of the things that I think is really important to grow yourself as a streamer is to just be consistent. Don't put on a face for your channel. Be yourself, because that's going to be the best. I mean, as long as you're not a jerk, you know. I mean, if you're a jerk, that's a different. Actually, though, there are some personalities, not saying in the mini painting community, but in general, there can be people who have a little bit more harsher personalities that do get more popular, which that's sometimes what people want to watch, which is totally cool. I try to keep my stream fairly PG. I know that there are small children that watch, so I try to not curse for the most part. I try not to be too lewd. Yeah, I know, Dysis. I'm sorry.
Innuendos. So I don't swear. I'm very polite, but I may be very suggestive.
Raise your hand if you have a "That's What She Said" command in your channel.
Nope.
Really? I was expecting Dysis. I really was.
Maybe.
Okay.
I have a what's the command?
Dysis After Dark. Yeah, and people know how I feel about busts. So.
Yeah.
Worst kept secret on the internet.
but just growing yourself, just be yourself. Stay consistent. Try new things. People want to watch you learn. Like, I will tell you, I had such an amazing time over the past year watching Dysis learn. Watching Dysis start painting and be confident about it, especially I think it's like with eyes. Like you've grown so much just painting, like, and learning and watching you. I think that's what people want. Like, people want to watch you learn and be a confident person. They don't want to people don't want to sit there and watch somebody be like, I suck at this. Oh God, I'm so terrible. You know,
negative.
Like that's hard. And of course you're going to have those feelings, right? You're going to not feel like you're as good as somebody else. And you're going to feel like, why am I doing this? I'm never going to be this good. But as long as you're trying to stay positive and you're trying to learn, like, you're going to grow your base. Yeah. It will happen just over time, like I said before.
They come for your personality, right? That's why you're there. Like, once again, I've been fangirling over Holly for a while. Everyone knows this. That
Everybody does.
Holly. Well, this is true. No. I have to tell a quick story. It's embarrassing. I'm going to embarrass myself. It's back when you went to the Bones launch party. And you were there on camera, and I spammed my emotes, and you called me out. You should have seen me. I was like, Holly the acknowledged my existence. Did you see it? And then afterwards, they kept going and telling Holly every time. Or like, hi, being all polite. It's like, hey, did you know Dysis totally fangirled so hard over you when you acknowledged her? And shut up, guys. I'm trying to play it cool.
Multiple times have I been lurking in Dysis's stream, and she'll say something about me, and I'll be like, "Oh, really? Is that right?"
And then red, because I'll make the joke.
I am a dirty lurker. I will say that. I have a hard time because I put streams on while I'm working, and so usually it'll just be the sound in the background as I'm typing stuff up, reading things, and yeah, I'm a lurker a lot. So
that's another point I should make
there.
right now. Right now is always have something good to say because you never know who's in your channel.
Yeah.
As I am the queen of this.
Don't talk trash.
Don't talk trash, like with Reaper, with Holly, with Sam Lenz, like all these people that I never look. For a fact, I never look at my list. I don't know who's in my chat because you're allowed to lurk. It's not my place. So I will call you out. And I have nothing bad to say about anybody, but I will, like with Holly, I will hit on Holly a lot. And then she'll go, but I'm here. And I'll go, crap. And I will, the last time I had to dodge real fast because I just so red. I was like, okay, I'm embarrassed now. And I had to stage left right out of there.
I will say there's one person I talk smack about, but that's my older brother.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, yeah,
he deserves it.
He and I will trash talk each other. Like, especially since like I stream Monday and Wednesday, he streams Tuesday, Thursday. So like Monday I'll talk smack on him, and then Tuesday he'll talk smack on me. And like it's been an entire week of us sometimes going back and forth.
It's like Twitch pen pals.
Yeah.
By the time the letter gets there, and then you send it back.
That's different though. If it's a mutual back and forth,
right?
Like, I give
absolutely.
JJ Beard a hard time. Oh, and Bug King, I will just tear Bug King down.
Bug King is a troll.
Dish it and come back forth. It's really good. And then For Bias makes this as a point. It's like try to be aware of boundaries in stream. This is a big thing because I've had people come in and see how chat goes and then try to fit in, and all of a sudden I feel really uncomfortable. And they just think they're fitting in, but I'm like, I don't know you. You making those kind of jokes is not quite appropriate.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and just, I mean, it goes back to the stream channel being like your home.
Yes.
And, you know, if there's a room in that house, you're not going to just go walking into a room if the door's closed. And I use this analogy all the time. Burnsy probably rolls his eyes whenever I say it. You got to wait for someone to open the door, right? This comes to self-promotion. This comes to making fun of each other. Like if somebody comes in, if I didn't know who Dysis was, and she comes into my channel and she starts making fun of my hair because I've got the COVID cut, as they call it, you know, and she starts making fun of that, or if she starts making fun of my painting and just harassing me, I have no context. I'm only going to take
the ban hammer.
Yeah. And I will immediately, I'll actually turn away, go to my mods channel on Discord and be like, can somebody please address this? And,
Exactly.
you know, but if I've known Dice, I know Dysis well enough to know when she comes in and she starts making, next time she's in my channel, I guarantee you she's going to comment on my hair.
I am. I wasn't going
Absolutely.
to. That never occurred to me
There
before,
it is.
but now that you've brought it up, I am
Right.
going to do it.
The door is open. But at the same time, if I don't know that Dysis is a streamer and she's like, yeah, I was just streaming, you know, all this, that, and the other thing, like, I'm sorry. No,
Not appropriate. Not appropriate.
that's not how you make friends here. You know, because I'm very open. I am not link friendly. I require my mods to give a permit unless you've been in channel for
Very normal.
more than a certain number of hours. But that's because we had a couple of mods get hit with spam links in my channel, and when they went to click them to check them, they got hacked. So we have a permit process, but still wait for somebody to invite you in there. But then also don't overstay your welcome, right?
Yes.
Dysis isn't going to sit there and nonstop do nothing but harass my hair the entire rest of the stream.
Yeah.
We're going to play it out, and when we're on to another topic, we're on to another topic. You know?
That is a good segue into a topic that we didn't really talk about, which is moderation, stream moderation. One of the things that happened when I first started was all the folks that originally watched me were also my mods. And so the 5 people that I had in my stream when I first started were all moderators, and they were all people that knew me really well. So they knew what I wouldn't tolerate. So I would say if you are just starting and you have like a buddy or two that can help you out by being in your stream for the entire time that you're there, at least for the first couple streams, talk over with them what types of things that you're okay with, what types of language that you're okay with, because there are some streamers who are like F-bombs all day and all night. And that's totally fine. It's just based on what you want to do in your stream. So talk over with your mod team, what types of behavior that you are okay with and not okay with. And then just make sure that they cover you. For the most part, I mod myself. I do have Swillow and Cybestorm. Those are my two like main mods now.
Yep.
They're both amazing. Thanks and hello. But they know like what I will tolerate and what I will not tolerate. And they definitely help me out, especially considering I'm a female streamer. There are some times where there is very bad stuff that comes into the stream. And I will say, just don't even acknowledge it. Don't acknowledge it at all. Just if there's something really bad, just permaban that person and go on with your day, because ain't nobody got time for those types of trolls. If
Can we cover that topic for a second too when we're done with mods? The female streamer concept.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
sure.
it's no. I want everybody to understand this is a very sensitive topic.
Yeah.
And by no means what I'm about to say is any judgment of anybody here, anybody that I know that's in the channel. There are a lot of different ways in reputation, and this is not by individual decision, but the internet's reputation of a female on a camera is not good. Yeah. It is definitely a lot more adult. But if you're honest with yourself, the women that you see on Twitch, most of them are actually very honest individuals who are there to provide regular content. Now, some of that content is dancing streams. Fine. There's content for that. People can watch that. But then if you come into the creative community, I would say 99% of any female streamers you see in the creative community are there, regardless of gender, to provide painting or creative content.
Yep.
They're not there wearing their lowest cut V-neck just to get more clicks. They're not there, dolling themselves up because they want the attention. If you see a female streamer with makeup on, it's because it makes her comfortable. It's because that is how she likes to present herself. She's not doing it because she wants you to come look at that. I mean, Dysis, I assume you're wearing lipstick, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's what you wear just about every day. It's what makes you comfortable, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty all the makeup I wear.
Exactly. And that's the point. But there's other women out on the internet who do things differently. That's totally fine. There's terms of service for reasons, and when a female is on her stream, you've got to respect the content that she's providing. And coming in with all these comments about show me this, show me that, all these things I'm going to do to you. I'm sorry. You're not pieces of meat. You are content creators regardless of gender.
I have had a couple of messages, not a lot. Thankfully, I've been very, very, very fortunate. But yes, I've had a couple of grosses that I just don't acknowledge. I don't acknowledge them. The mods get to have fun, just whack them with the ban hammer.
Hammer.
Widen up and just right out of the park. But then I've had a couple of private, like it hasn't been bad. It's just most of the time I just don't acknowledge them. I don't play ball.
This community, I think, is very unique in that even though like we're streaming on Twitch, and Twitch historically is for gaming, the mini painting community that has been built on Twitch is extremely respectful for the most part. Very good people, generally very good people. I want to say like the worst message that I've ever received was when I was on just chatting on my birthday stream. Because I wasn't painting, so I wasn't going to stream under the painting category or the art category, because I was just hanging out. And that's the only time I've ever had anything really bad that, again, completely didn't even acknowledge it. Chat I don't even think saw it, because I got to it so quickly that that person was permabanned and their message was deleted before anybody even had a chance to see it or do anything about it or say anything about it. So I would say that, again, having a really good mod team is important. And also not letting that kind of stuff get to you, because there are a lot of scumbags around in the world, and most of the time they are not part of this community, and so you're usually will be fine.
This is a phenomenal community. Phenomenal.
The other thing that I do want to mention when it comes to like specifically Twitch mini painting, there's always been a joke bandied about that it's one of the most incestuous communities on Twitch, and what I mean by that is all of the mini painting mini painters follow other mini painters
Yes,
and
exactly.
hang out in their chats.
And
So
we
if you
flirt
are
a
one of
lot.
those people,
We do flirt a lot.
if
Yeah,
you,
it's
if you,
bad.
if
It's
you
real
do
bad.
pop up, right, and you are one of those people who are causing those problems, we tell each other.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Yes,
I
we
have
talk to each other.
legitimately had it where somebody from another mini painting stream, another mini painter who's rated in or something, and has had problems with somebody in the past,
Yes.
has been like, hey, just
I've
want to
had
be helpful. This person has been a problem in the past. Keep an eye out, just a
Yep.
warning for you.
I had that just the other day
So-
where I had someone message me and go, by the way, this person's been banned from like 5 different streams. Like, okay, cool. I won't do anything until they warrant it.
Right,
Yes.
absolutely.
But now my mods
But-
know and they'll be watching.
And that's a very good point though, Dysis, because not all viewers act the same in all channels. There are scumbags who are always scumbags, but not all viewers
Yeah,
act the same.
That's fair.
Some of my closest stream friends have had issues with certain viewers that I have not had issues with.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you say something to Dysis in her channel, does not auto ban you in my channel.
Nope.
If you say something in specific, I will block you, ban you, everything in my channel. But it just in general, if you were just a turd to somebody, I'm not going to ban you over here. I'm going to tell my mods, keep an eye on this person.
Also,
yeah.
sorry.
No, don't prejudge is all I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but also if you're bad talk, you come to my stream and bad talk another streamer, even if I may not know them or I may not be their friend, I do not tolerate that either. You do not come to me and start bad talking because that doesn't fly.
Yeah.
I've
I've never
even if
had
I'm
that
not
happen.
friends.
Ooh,
Yeah,
and
but
I
I'm
see
just
it.
saying it's not good.
I see a good question in chat. I'm pointing
Yes.
the chat like you guys are looking at my screen.
We see it. No, we're over your
It's over
shoulder.
here.
We
As-
see. Point
Yeah,
to us.
it's over here.
As streamers, do you try to include more women? So it's an
what
interesting.
context?
I'm gonna go off of my assumed context because I always just I directly just respond to what's literally written in chat.
Yeah.
I am not so as a male, and everybody remembers from last year some comments that Ninja made on when he was on the Twitch platform about never streaming with women. I have boundaries. I have a wife. I have a daughter, and they can at any time walk into this room and hear me talking. So
Mhm.
you will never hear me behaving towards any woman, any male, anybody in a way that I would be embarrassed or ashamed in front of them. So I am more than happy if I am feeling up for a co-stream, because I don't always co-stream.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are gender wise, as long as there's a good flow between me and that person.
Yep.
I will be more than happy to include them in my content. I'll be more than happy to work with them. I mean, a few weeks ago I had Mocha Minis actually, instead of streaming herself, come on to Discord with me and we stream together on my channel to paint
Yeah.
a bust. If Dysis or Holly, if you guys ever had similar times to me, because my times are limited, I'd love to stream with
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
And Burnsy, I guess you too.
Get away.
Burnsy's one of my mods. I love
It's-
Burnsy.
Oh.
It's not like I've actually run your stream for you and you've been
Never
gone before. or
I've
anything.
never ever invited some of my closest stream friends to do takeovers when I'm on vacation. That never happens. So, which by the way might be happening in the near future.
Of course it will.
So I like Zambies and I did watercolors. She taught me watercolors on one of my streams.
Yeah.
So I don't care your gender as long as we have a good mesh. If we have something to talk about, because there are streamers that I love watching, but I would probably never co-stream with because it's like watching, oil and water. We just don't have
Don't
the
mix,
same
yeah.
personalities to stream
Mhm.
together, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But
Well, another thing that I think is funny is on that topic is my stream, I'm a little freer with language. I don't always just drop F-bombs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm later at night. Most people, that I'm 8 p.m. to midnight.
Yeah.
I'm not geared during that time frame. Most kids are asleep. I don't watch my language as much. I do swear every now, occasionally. However, at the same time, if I'm like I said, hosting for GamerDad, then my language and behavior is completely different because I follow the model that he wants for his channel.
Yeah.
That's one of those respect things.
Yeah.
So
it's the same thing with your mods, right? You said find some friends to hang out with, but Holly, I think you were talking about some of your good friends. That's a good way to start. But some on the other side of the coin, people need, you need to understand, just because you're my friend, you're not a good mod.
Yeah.
But,
No, for sure.
So you nailed it. You hit the nail right on the head. Make sure that one, find some friends, but they have to respect your boundaries, because
Yes.
Think of it like a place of business. Think of it like your own home.
Yep.
People need to represent you because everything that they do in your channel reflects on you.
Yeah. It's true.
But I was gonna say,
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm always down with hanging out with the ladies.
Yeah, I love everybody. I am the type of person that if anybody ever wants to co-stream, like just hit me up because I'm down to co-stream.
I will stay up late for you. I will stay up past my bedtime for you.
We will do a
Do we need
co-stream
to just
eventually.
leave? Should we just excuse
Yeah,
ourselves?
I think you two need to just
Did you
get out of
hear
here so
Did you
Dysis
hear
and
that
I
like
can hang out.
breathless gasp there at the end? Like, I will stay up late for you.
I'll do it. I'll stay up. It's
Oh,
past my bed. Well, she starts streaming so late. I usually
I
go to
know.
bed. You start streaming. It's like 11. I'm like, I have to go to bed. I stayed
Yeah.
up late. It's like midnight. I'm like, I'm still here.
I love you, Dysis.
Did you
Just
ever
go to
watch Friends?
I've watched Friends, yeah.
Did you ever see the episode where Jennifer Aniston ran into her old college friend and they were bragging about the kiss?
I don't remember.
Oh, I really wish you two could because that's what's happening right now in this conversation.
Hey, she said it. She's my Twitch girlfriend.
It's true.
Fine.
I did say it.
I have a Twitch wife.
Oh, I have a Twitch husband as well.
I've said it in front of my wife, and she has seen this person. She's never met them in person, but it's all about boundaries. And I know some other people with their partners that they don't necessarily have the same kind of relationship to do that, and that's not a bad thing. But this community, dare I say, is genderless.
Yeah, it's all in good fun.
It's all
in good fun.
equal. Everyone is equal.
Yeah.
I will equally flirt. Like my slogan in my stream is, I don't flirt often. I flirt all the time.
I love that so much.
That is
wow.
literally me. It gets linked all the time. Exclamation flirt will tell you, for especially those that come in and might take it personally, which I worry about. That is a worry for me because I can be very flirty. I don't want someone to be like, oh, it's me personally. I'm like, it's not you. I literally just flirt. I talk, and it's
Yeah.
Except for Holly, that's genuine.
Well, and you made either you or Holly made the comment earlier about being yourself.
Yeah.
Or being genuine. Being true to your character, I think is a fair way to put it, because there are people that stream with an overlay that they'll Steam add in where you can have a character face instead of your own face.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
I don't remember either. I know what you're talking about.
There's people who do that. There's people like Dr. Disrespect, who's not a real person. That is a character that this person named Guy has invented.
Yep.
Be genuine to whatever that is.
Yeah.
And as long as that's something you can keep up, that's who you are. You have to represent that. But also keep in mind, that's very taxing if you're not yourself. If you're going to be another character, anytime you are making an appearance, that character needs to be present. So now, unfortunately, Guy, whenever he goes out in public, has to act like Dr. Disrespect when he's doing Twitch-related work. If he goes to the grocery store, I mean, whatever. But, you have to be true to yourself, and that's one of the reasons why I think the four of us all like to be ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier, honestly. It's just way easier.
And it's eventually going to come out, too. Like, let's all be real. You can't fake it forever. It's very difficult if you're not an actor too. Like, you're not going to be able to just constantly be on it and acting all the time. It's just easier if you're yourself, because then people get to grow with you and you become actual, like, real friends because you're being yourself and people respond to that. Right. So.
Yeah. I mean, I have made that mistake. I've been around Twitch for a long enough time to call myself a veteran, and I've made that mistake. I have definitely fallen prey to being exactly what I thought the community needed me to be, wanted me to be, as opposed to being myself. I will be honest. I saw inflated numbers. I saw my numbers going way up. I saw my friendships going way down.
Yep,
I
exactly.
really alienated myself away from the community.
Yeah.
So it's a big one. You start streaming, just do you.
Yeah.
Like, you show up, and if you flirt, but if you don't, you don't. If you're quiet, be quiet. Like, do what's best for you. Don't force it.
Geekette is one of my favorites. Honestly, I'm gonna shout out Giggling Geekette here for just a second. I put on that stream when I want to relax because her voice is so relaxing, and she's so informative as she is, like, slowly speaking, and her voice. No face cam.
You don't point that you do not need a face cam.
Don't need a face cam. Geekette is amazing, and it's because she's so consistent with what she does. relaxing, calm music, relaxing, calm voice, relaxing, calm kitty cam. Like, it's great.
It all varies. And she does her. That's just
yeah,
it.
and that's
yeah.
her. That's how she is. And it's amazing. Yeah.
And it's like, I have to chuckle because I'm at the other end of that spectrum almost, because
crazy?
like, I'm not crazy,
Loud.
but
He's
like,
loud.
I can be a little loud. I have usually like some sort of like power metal going in the background.
Yeah.
And that's just because like for me, like I'm getting like excited as I'm like painting. And so like, like I said, I have a tendency to be a little freer with my language. Sometimes I'm using swear words as adjectives.
Which is fine.
But, you know, usually that's not all of it. I try to like moderate how much I do swear, things like say, you know, and there's different things that different people do. Like you have different spectrums, different environments, you know?
Oh yeah. I go from power metal, and then we got like Celtic, Norse stuff,
Chant,
and you come in and I could be doing show tunes and Disney music, singing at the top of my lung, or doing anime dances. Like, it's a spectrum of weird. People come in and go, "What have I walked in on?" To I'm like,
I don't know.
Welcome to the weird. Embrace the weird, as I say.
This is me today.
This is me at this moment.
The camera
Welcome.
thing's called face rig. I just saw it in
Face
chat.
rig.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I was like, squirrel. There's the squirrel.
Yeah.
Which I think face rig has a squirrel character, by the way.
I think there's only one thing that we didn't get to
Oh, okay.
as a question, and it's something I think we can talk about a little bit right now. How do you fill the blank spaces in conversation when you are streaming and nobody is chatting? Because that happens to me all the time.
As a late night streamer, I'll go first because as a late night streamer, this affects me a lot. So a majority of streamers are actually East Coast, is what I found in East Coast to Central. And so when my stream starts at 8 p.m. Pacific time, that's 11 p.m. for East Coast.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are ending and stuff like that. And so you'll come over and you'll get lurkers that are just there. They'll like, a lot of people leave their computer on, watching the streams, providing their support because they love the community. But at the same time, that can also mean that there's some dead air from time to time. And so a couple different things I'll do. I'll start talking about a book I'm reading recently.
Yep.
Or I'll go talking about TV shows. Like I've been binging Criminal Minds recently. Or if I can't think of any of that, I'll just start describing what I'm doing as I'm painting.
Yes.
Why I'm doing something a certain way, you know?
That's a big one.
Yep. And believe it or not, it's actually easier for painting streamers or content like creative streamers to fill the void when there's nobody to talk to, because you can just talk to yourself about what you're doing.
Yes.
I mean,
exactly.
That's pretty easy. Or I'd even say for gamers, it's also easy because if no one's talking to you in chat, just keep talking about what you're doing in the game. If you're playing Call of Duty, you're talking about this mission and you're trying to, we're going to defend this point here because typically write down this, because if you educate people on what you're doing, then they're going to feel like there's going to be content. When someone drops into your channel and you're just like sitting there silent, it's awkward.
Yeah.
So, at the same time, we also have a harder time talking to people when they talk to us in chat because we're looking at a mini. We're not staring at our chat.
Yes.
Right? So it's harder for us. So you've got to come up with that, I guess, muscle memory or repetitive motion of, I have a habit of looking where my chat is. I look at it every time my brush comes away from my model or comes out of the paint cup. I look at chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Also, a big thing, if you want to get our attention, make sure to do the @ in our name. Because for me, it comes up as a big red block.
Yes.
And I will see it. So if you're trying to get my attention, because sometimes like if I get a raid or it's really busy and you're trying to talk to me, I am not ignoring you. I make a point to acknowledge everybody. But sometimes stuff flies by. I get distracted. Like once again, I sing. Just do @ or repeat yourself. I don't take offense. Like just say it again. I've had it where people say hi or two people have the same color name.
Yeah.
I did the other day with Zed and I thought it was Zambies. Two different people, but their names are with Zed and the same color. And I was like, oh my gosh, wrong person. It happens. But yeah, for me, my dead space is just, I sing. I go, oh, nobody's talking. Well, that's your own fault. Let's not.
And now we figured it out. Everybody stop talking in Dysis's channel.
And Dysis
everybody
will just
learn.
sing.
And
I will sing. I will
the whole
sing.
time.
And I'm sorry. I will warn people. I'm going to sing. Turn it down. You turn that. Don't mute me, but turn me all the way down because I'm going to be singing for the next couple minutes. And people are like,
Rathmore says I make up stories about the miniature that I'm painting. That's actually a really good idea.
I've done
Rathmore,
that.
I'm stealing it.
I've made them talk to each other. There's
I
a
was
clip
just gonna say the
somewhere
same thing.
of them interacting. I did a story when I did an unboxing of a bunch of Reaper minis, and they're like a unicorn. It was the kids paint thing. I made a little storyline. I had it once when I painted Dragons Don't Share, and I put the head on my finger, and I did the Gur Arg thing from Buffy.
Wait.
The Gur Arg. I do it.
I paint airplanes. They fly across the street.
It's entertaining. We're children.
It's been
Like he doesn't just show you the mini. He's like, this is what I'm doing with it.
no shame. No shame.
I talk about food.
I'm hungry.
It always
I haven't
makes me
really-
hungry.
No
It always makes me jealous because I do keto, so I can't have a lot of the things. But I talk about food, and usually I'm like, "What did everybody eat today?" And people are like, "I had this and this and this, and I had this." Everybody wants to talk about food, so that's what I default to.
Food is
I
good. I just nerd out about real. Like I will just be like the same idea as Burnsy. It's like
Cheese.
what TV show? Whatever am I watching? What game have I played? I learned a random useless fact that I can share with, which is another thing. This is actually thanks to JJ Beard. I have a quote command. So when chat stops, he'll just put a quote in, and then that will start dialogue back up. It's just a gimmick. It really helps having the silly things like, oh, exclamation. We have a fortune cookie thing. So people will come in and do quote and be like, what's my fortune cookie? And it's some awful thing I've said and don't remember. Oh, and now we're looking at
stop
Zambies.
it.
Let's talk about cheese, Zambies. How's
Let's
that
talk about
look?
cheese, baby. Let's talk
Baby.
about you and me. Let's talk about. Oh.
See, like for me, I've what was it? I'm
He's
a
distracted by the cheese. It's over.
I was. That was
I'm
hard.
hungry. I'm
Basically, for me, like one of the bands I'll listen to is Sabaton. Like sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I don't follow the DMC, like the non-copyrighted music.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just want to listen to some rock, and I'll listen to Sabaton. Well, the thing that most people don't realize is a lot of Sabaton's music is actually related to historical events. And so one of the things I'll do is if there's a song that I know about the topic, I'll talk about the topic.
Okay.
History.
Like there's a
great.
song called Night Witches. That's about the 338th, I think it is, Russian night bomber wing, which was a bunch of women pilots that scared the bejesus out of the Nazis so bad that they were called the Night Witches. And that's what that's about. So it's just one of those, I'll go off on little rants about historical facts. Like,
Yeah, stuff that interests you. Talk about stuff that interests you. And normally in the hobby, there are at least a few people who also share the same interests as you. Like, I'm really into video games, so I talk about games a lot. I talk about my favorite games. A lot of people who like miniatures and like D&D also like video games. So there's always enough topic of conversation there to get something going. Like, what game is somebody playing? Like, what games are you playing? Like, I just finished Spiritfarer, and that's what my nails are right now. Are Spiritfarer nails.
I like them. Your
So,
nails
like,
are always so cool.
Yeah.
They're what?
Spiritfarer. I'm gonna show you on my video again here.
School me, please.
I'm just going to show you here.
She's got the
my
coolest
nails.
nails. Always the
wow.
coolest nails. Nail envy.
So,
My
This
nails sometimes just wind up having paint on them.
I mean, that's fine too.
can confirm.
New streamer reward, Burnsy? Should we make that the channel points?
What?
Paint your nails?
Paint a nail? No, not
Yes,
all of
do
them.
it.
One nail each.
No, do it. All of them.
But,
all the
like,
nails.
So
Yes.
All or
I use
nothing.
my brother jokingly refers to me as the purple creature preacher because I use a lot of purple as a color. I use it as a shade. I use it as a main color. Like purple's a great versatile color. But he makes fun of me for it, and I can neither confirm nor deny that there has been a time I've gone to work the next day and not realized my thumb is like 4 different shades of purple on my thumbnail because I have a tendency to point my brush across my thumbnail.
And some people don't realize because like I'll go to bed and I'll wake up because I'm a thumb painter, so I will yeah. And
Me too.
Always, yep.
when I have flesh colors and greens and purples and all that, it looks like a really nasty, gnarly
Like
scab on your
bruise.
thumb.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll wake
Well,
up and my wife's like, "Oh my God, what did you do to your thumb? Are you okay?" Like, oh yeah, and I'll peel it off. And people are, and I tell stories like, "Don't you wash your hands?" I'm like, "Yes." Do you realize how
Weird.
difficult it is at 1 o'clock in the morning to scrub acrylic paint off of your hands?
Yes.
I washed them. trust me, this is
Yep.
what's left. You know, like
Yeah.
they're clean.
Or the reds.
Yeah.
I'll go pick
Oh.
up Llama Girl from the bus back when, that happened. And I go, and they go, what happened to your hand? I go, oh, I was painting reds. Like I was painting a dragon. So it was orange and the way it blended, it looked awful. It looked like,
Mhm.
like I burned myself. I'm like, oh, you're all right. I'm like, oh, it's just paint. I'm covered in paint.
Yeah.
Primer is a big one for me. I still
Yes.
rattle can prime every now and then, and
Oh, yeah.
I'll end up with like these two, my pointer and thumb are just like black.
Yep.
Like just from holding the paper plate that I use to like prime stuff. I'll be like holding it like this and oh look, my thumb's black. Like
Oh, I do that with the airbrush and it gets all over my thumb. So,
What are
By- by
y'all's
the- go ahead.
favorite? Well, I was just going to ask, what is y'all's favorite streaming moment that you've had? Could you condense it and figure one streaming moment that was your absolute favorite thing?
I have 3.
Okay, go.
Let's hear
Let
it,
other
let's hear it.
people think about them.
The first one for everybody here knows Art of Mike Disney. I hope so.
Yes.
Yeah.
My wife, this is back to when Hypermom got her name. My wife used to flex. She would sneak up behind me and flex with a big, loud, scary grunt and everything. She walked up to the camera one day and Mike was in the channel and she said, hi. And I was like, well, can you give Mike Disney a little flex? So she flexes. And just as she did it, the camera, my face cam fell back. So she did the flex, everybody saw it, and then the camera fell off the monitor, like she scared it away.
She flexed the camera into submission.
And they're like, Hypermom's too strong, and
Too
that,
strong.
So that was So there was that one. There was another one where she came over and people have seen me jump. She scares me all the time because once she gets up the stairs, she can very, very quietly walk to my desk. And she said something to me before, and I about flew out of my chair and stuck to the ceiling. And she's like, I didn't do anything. I'm like, I know, you scared me. It wasn't her fault. And the last one is probably the most adorable one, and it might still be the only clip out of these 3 that are left because I don't know. They've vanished. My daughter came over to see me after a nap one day when I was streaming in the afternoons. And I was holding her, and I said, can Daddy have a hug? And she goes, nope. Just in front of everybody, live on stream. And it was like a little 2-year-old just rejecting me.
That's adorable.
That is really sweet. Aw.
Burnsy, can you think of one?
Yeah, Bunsies. I did it again.
Bunsy.
Bunsy. I did
Yes.
it again.
my name,
We're done.
I was
That's
doing
it.
so good.
Bunsy.
I had done
It's
it
Bunsy.
all right.
I'll say 2. First off is my name. And it's funny to me because I'm not trying to stereotype or anything, but it's usually female streamers. Whenever I pop up in their channel, you're not the first one. Actually, it was, gosh, now it's been a while since she's been around. I can't think of her name. But basically, it's Bunny, Inquisitor Bunny.
Bunny.
Yeah. that's
Everybody
what I
says
was-
Inquisitor Bunny. That's
I know
the
who-
first
who was
one.
that? Yeah.
But then the one that really got me was when I was first starting to stream. Impending Duff told people to go follow me because I was a heartthrob, to quote him. And so it was like, but it was funny because at the time before I started streaming on my own, I was covering for my brother's stream while he was dealing with his daughter going through cancer. And so I was streaming on his stream, but everybody knew the night that I covered for him. And so all of a sudden, like the stream got rated like 4 different female Twitch streamers that were all streaming that night all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And Duff had like instigated all of them to raid. And I just know that like I was like tomato red that entire stream.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Dysis, what is yours?
Well, you already know the one, like I've told before, with the one where I was making passes at Holly.
At
and
me
she
with, I wasn't there, but I was there.
Yeah, I didn't know she was there, and I'm flirting, going on and on and on by undying love for Holly Monster. And she goes, hi. And I went, ah! And I had to dive off screen because I was so flustered, just beyond flustered. And then the first time was when I was still very, very new. I hadn't been streaming very long. I had like my few people. I had maybe 200 followers, and I was going on about wanting Reaper to notice me. I'm like, please, Reaper, notice me. And they hosted, and I had a bunch of people pour in, and I ceased to function for like 15 minutes because I didn't know what to do. Because it had been leading up because I'd made a couple jokes like, man, Vin Diesel. And one of my followers made a joke account of Vin Diesel. And we're like, ha ha ha, funny. And they made a joke about Reaper and it happened. And the third favorite moment is one it's not big, is when for Halloween last year, a bunch of streamers all were being other people,
Just
like
as each other.
Geekette.
Yeah.
Geekette was Holly Monster, and I was Giggling Geekette, and I was so proud of what I did because I actually got people going. It took me a moment because I copied her overlay exactly.
It was great.
Wow.
It was
cut
great.
some gloves to look like gloves. That's when I started using the piece of paper. I had the black piece of paper down.
Yep.
I played her exact playlist, and people were like, "Look, if you can make it," because people know me, I'm quite hyper. If you can keep this up, this calm, soothing thing for the 2 hours, we will like, because I end up getting a bunch of like gift subs and stuff. Because like, if you can keep this up, we would be impressed. And it was so fun being Giggling Geekette. And she came in and she said she loved it. And I was like, oh, I hope she likes it. Because I sat there making this overlay, looking for all the stuff that she had with the little, except at the bottom, I was too lazy to make the thing for Spotify. And I said, something soothing and relaxing, most likely acoustic at the bottom because I couldn't be bothered. And so I painted the Dwarf Pounder. That's what it was, because she had just painted it. And then afterwards I posted Instagram with the 3 bottles behind it. I did it all exact. And I was very proud of that moment because I was like, yes, I nailed it.
Very good mimic.
It was like, yep, I did it.
I think mine is, wait, hold on. Just real quick, Justin. Just real quick.
She's telling the voice in her head to be quiet. It's very rude.
Mine was my last year's stream anniversary, the very first giveaway that I did for it, because I think I did like 10. The way that I did it was really dumb. I did it in like a spreadsheet. The very first giveaway, I rolled for the number for a random number generator, and it was like 72 or something. And I went and looked at the document, and it was me. I rolled the giveaway for myself.
Amazing.
And I was like, well, this is a good start to this stream. But I died laughing. It was the funniest thing. I was like, why didn't I remove myself as a participant in this giveaway? It was really funny. But yeah, that's probably my all-time favorite. Just the dumbest thing to possibly happened, and it was great. Anyways, Justin, what were you saying, Justin? Yeah, totally.
They're telling us to get lost now.
He doesn't want us to talk anymore.
Go over air and tell people that is not true.
It's not true. I'm sorry. I didn't actually say that. I'm just being mean. He would never say that.
We love these people. We would never do that.
Justin's being so rude right now. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I'm just kidding.
and then now Justin, nobody can hear you other than the 4 of us. Tell us what you really think.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Cool.
Oh, don't say that to me. Have you been to my stream? Say that. It's good they can't hear that, guys.
You have to do it in song.
Oh, no.
Gerald.
We're waiting.
Oh, I'm ready to sing? Ready to sing now? All right, you guys ready? Don't
for
you
me.
put it in your mouth until you ask someone you love if it's okay to eat like a muffin or a treat.
She sings this song all the time in her stream. It's great.
I was not expecting that.
You're welcome. I did it. I did the song. I got very warm all of a sudden.
That was JustDysis, everyone.
EOS.
I do that on my stream.
Always.
Sorry, not sorry.
All right. Well, if we want to do
where
plugs,
can we find you on the interwebs?
Yes,
JustDysis.
Dysis. Where can we find you?
I'm JustDysis on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And I stream mini painting 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I paint things. I really like busts, and not what you think.
Not an innuendo.
Not actual busts, just to put it out there. And I like chibis, and I really specialize in skin tone and eyes. And we sing a lot and goof off. And there's lots of jokes about hobby holders. And if you want to learn more, you have to watch me, because I'm not saying it here in front of all these people.
Probably.
It's for the best.
Holly.
Me? Okay, I can go next. Yes. My name is Holly Monster here on Twitch. On Instagram, I am Miss Holly Monster because Holly Monster was already taken. So MISS, Holly Monster. That's basically all I use. I also stream mini painting, mostly little ones, some big ones, but mostly little ones. I like the little ones. And that's about it. If you want to just come and talk about food, you can come follow me and talk. We can talk about food.
I like food.
Burnsy next.
I'll go next. I'm Inquisitorburnzy on Twitch, and I am Inquisitorburnzy_painting on Instagram. I stream Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, if I specialized in anything, it's probably true metal metallic. Is probably what I focus on.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I need to learn that.
You spent how many nights doing gold trim on that gigantic monster, that king
of Ecstasy? Actually, yes. I think that was 2 weeks to get the base gold on, and I haven't even worked it up yet. It's just washed at this point.
He really likes gold, and I have proof of it.
Okay,
Gold.
Austin Powers is in my head now.
Gold.
And it should be JustDysis. Please. So Burnsy, we got Dysis to sing. Can you please do it?
I love gold.
I like it. That's all I heard. I was like, oh.
That
Yes.
might be the alert that goes off when he speaks up in my channel when he shows up for the first time.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I got him to record it for me and everything. I clipped his channel and everything to do it.
Gamer Dad, who are you?
I'm GamerDad. You can find me on Twitch, Instagram, Patreon, and Twitter at GamerdadNC. And I also have YouTube where I do reviews of different products, including unboxings of Reaper stuff. So I got all the ReaperCon 2020 models. I'll be doing unboxing videos of that after when that arrives. So I do unboxing videos on YouTube. I do tutorials and very mostly relaxed streams at night on Twitch, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday night. My Patreon is geared around paint-alongs as well as stream coaching and support. The stream coaching thing is something I'm very passionate about, and for you can jump in monthly and ask me questions regularly. You can also ask questions in the Discord. We answer basic questions, but if you need more dedicated one-on-one support, I do live hourly sessions as well as just regular Discord chats back and forth, helping people get things up and running. The 2 guides are kind of just a taste of what I did for the last convention I did coaching at. So that's where you can find me.
For sure. And thank you all for being here and watching
Thanks,
us.
everybody. Yeah.
Putting up with
It's been
me.
awesome.
Yeah, we hope that you learned even a little bit of potentially things that you didn't know. If you want to start streaming, always feel free to hit any of us up. Gamer Dad might be a little busy soon, but I'm sure he'll still eventually get back to you.
Soon.
No,
we're
yes.
hoping
a
not
little
as
while,
soon.
not busy
Yeah.
yet.
Hopefully in a couple more weeks,
Yeah,
right?
Context would be my wife is only about 30 weeks pregnant as of tomorrow, and we are feverishly working to make sure that we stay pregnant for several more weeks. So
Yeah, bun stay in oven, please.
Yes.
I just happened to be at home for a few hours, taking a shower, relaxing, and getting some things to bring back to the hospital. And it happened to fall into my lap that I had the time to attend part of this. So I kind of needed this. It felt good because it felt good to feel useful for those of you who are soon to be fathers or are already parents or something like that, watching your wife go through pregnancy and you have to sit there and just support her in any way and do nothing. It's a struggle to feel helpless because
But
I just want to make.
You're not as a mother.
I know I'm
you're
not.
awesome.
I know I'm not.
Forget it.
But just watching her sit there, not being able to do anything about what we're dealing with, and me not being able to take that away is a struggle. So it was nice to come in and and that's the real life balance, guys. I've canceled several streams. I almost missed this entire thing, and I was willing and ready to miss this entire thing. That's the balance you need in your life.
Yes.
And I didn't even hesitate. And more importantly, these 3 right here didn't even hesitate because I brought the idea to them after I heard about this, and I said, "Do you want to do this?" And they took the whole plan we had, and I sat on the phone with Holly, and we made it work because the 3 of you really stepped up, and that's what this community is about. That's why we need more Twitch streamers like this. There's you guys are priceless. So
Yes, A+.
A++.
S+.
S+.
Well,
All right.
thank you guys very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks
you.
for the
So much fun.
Have
Also,
have a
Reaper.
wonderful rest of your ReaperCon,
See if
everybody. I
don't
hope you
think
all have been
can.
learning a
I
lot.
I don't know why I can't do this, but there you go. I'm
You
trying.
can do it. You
can
can
do
do
it.
it.
This is
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
It's fantastic. Oh, I think John's jumping into sight with his camera. Maybe not.
Oh, hi.
There
Oh,
we go.
John. I got a voice. Yes, John. Hi, John.
Burnsy, don't
Burnsy,
leave us
come on.
hanging. Dysis, Burnsy, come on, do it.
John,
Do
one
it.
more time. Yay.
Everybody.
Dice
I
Buddy.
think my hands ain't been this way.
ReaperCon, everyone.
Oh,
ReaperCon. Can't wait to see you all next year.
you guys are fantastic.
Yes, we'll all be there next year.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank
See you later.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye.